the motion be agreed to, I call the member for Herbert.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. By 1990, no Australian child will live in poverty. Climate change is the greatest moral challenge of our time. Every child in an Australian school will receive a computer. We are going to build 2,650 trades training centres in every high school in the country. Labor loves an announcement. Labor loves an announcement that they were able to follow through. Australian children were still in 1990 were still living in poverty. Labor walked away from climate change. No, my kids are still waiting for the computer, and they built 250 trades training centres. The member for Kingston and I are both on the Education and Employment House Standing Committee. We've both been through the TAFE inquiry. We both understand the challenges in relation to VET. We both understand the challenges about the efficient use of resources that TAFE and VET, especially trades training centres, are very capital intensive in the way we use these things. What we must do is make sure that those resources are being used efficiently. So when we are rolling these things out, they're not locked up for 10 weeks over Christmas. They're not locked up for 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, another week here. These things have got to be used day and night. The Trades Training Centre model, for as far as I was concerned, and every time I look at it, was flawed. What did work with the Australian Technical Colleges. It was tied up as a separate organisation where kids could finish off year 11 and 12 and come out ahead on their apprenticeship. What I hated most about when Labor came to power is not only did they take out the practical challenge of delivering 2,650 trades training centres and not deliver on any of them, they went out of their way to philosophically destroy what John Howard had put in place with these technical colleges. The technical college in the Australian Technical College Townsville was one of the fantastic ones, and they're still operating today. But what Labor did, what Kevin Rudd did, was he made them spend $50,000 changing their logo, changing their name, changing all their letterheads, everything, and then pulled all funding from them, leaving them stranded. That, to me, more than anything to do with the 2,650 promised and the 260 delivered, was the sin here. That is the mortal sin. What we must do is we must, as a country, make the most of our resources. What we must do is make sure that TAFE, VET and schools training centres are delivering what we need to do. If you are going to spend a lot of money in this area, if you are going to work really hard in this area, then you have to make sure that those resources are being used to their maximum. And they're not. They're not. We are seeing the things when I had the member for Perth in here recently speaking on this motion. We were over in Perth talking about the trades, talking about vocational education training and TAFE in particular. And she got the people from the Trades Training Centre to come in. The thing doesn't work. The model doesn't work. They spend an awful lot of money on this thing, and it doesn't deliver the results. We have kids coming through these things who are being passed through without having to be responsible for what they're actually trying to do here. We have kids getting these things through, and they are turning up at jobs without any skills whatsoever. And that is the problem we have here. And that's what you can't walk away from. That's what you can't do. The Australian Technical College model, where they go in and they actually sign up for an apprenticeship with an employer, they get their high school certificate and they get delivered the things through, that is the model which actually works. So what we have to do, well, gee, I could have sworn you had your go on this one. I could have sworn you had your go. Maybe you should move for extra time, because every time you didn't like, and whilst we're at it, the member for Werriwa having a go at the member for Mitchell, I think that no one could accuse the member for Werriwa of trying too hard. Certainly they could never accuse him of trying too hard. And saying to the member for Mitchell that he's just been involved in politics, how long has Laurie been involved? How long has the member for Werriwa actually been involved in the game? New South Wales Legislative Assembly and here for about 30 years. So please, don't stand over there and lecture us on what we've got to do here. That's a bit rich. That's just a little bit rich. So it's about the efficient use of resources. It's about delivering those things. He would never brash that. He can't get anyone to sign up for him, mate. He can't get everyone to sign up. He's got to have Central Command come in and just protect him. That's what's got to happen in this space. Everybody else, we can get people to sign up for membership because they like us or they like like what we want to do. Poor old Laurie sitting over there, a member for Werra was sitting over there saying, someone please protect me. So I sit there and say, what we have to do is make sure that we get efficient use of resources, and the Trades Training Centre, well, Labor didn't even believe in it themselves, otherwise they would have delivered
The member's
more.
time has expired. I enjoy the robust debate. The question